Good day. Today we're going to be talking about English, and just as you all know that WAEC is fast approaching in terms of the examination, it is very important to note that English is one of the most important subjects that you all need to pass. So you need to do what you have to do to make sure you come out in flying colors. Now the exam is divided into 3 papers: paper 1, paper 2, paper 3. What we're going to be focusing here in today's tutorial is on paper 3, and paper 3 deals with test of orals. Now this is going to carry 60 marks in your objective questions. Now what happens most times is students oftentimes overlook test of orals because they are not too familiar with the sounds and every other thing that has to do with test of orals. So if you really desire good results in English language, I think test of orals is a category whereby you can have almost maximum marks to boost your objective scores. So we're going to try as much as possible to look at all the important areas in test of orals. So we're going to begin with vowels. I'm very sure that you've heard of what vowel sounds are before. But if I ask you to put a definition to it, what will you say? A, E, I, O, U? No. We're going to learn what vowel sounds are today. Vowel sounds, of course they are sounds. So vowel sounds are sounds that you produce without obstructing the airflow, coming all the way from your lungs up through to your mouth. So when you want to say a sound, the first place to begin with is by pushing air all the way from your lungs up through to your mouth. And you know that sounds are the smallest unit of a word, and when you're speaking, what you do is you combine different sound words together by producing different sounds. So what I'm doing now is I'm only producing different sounds and joining them together to form meaningful words. I hope you got that explanation. So vowel sounds are sounds you say without obstructing the airflow, coming all the way from your lungs up through to your mouth. So in this category of test of orals, we're going to look at vowel sounds, monophthongs, diphthongs, intonation, word stress, phonetic symbols, consonants, and consonant cluster. So these will be our first class under test of orals, and we're going to deal with monophthongs and diphthongs. Now, there are 20 vowel sounds in English. I know that most times while growing up, most of you were taught that we have 5 vowel sounds. However, we have 5 main vowel sounds, but we have 20 vowel sounds in English and 24 consonant sounds. So all together combined, we have 44 sounds in English. Yes. So we do not make use of the alphabet because we have just 26 alphabets in English language. However, we have 44 sounds. So you need to register that at the back of your minds. We have 20 vowel sounds and 20 vowel sounds and 24 consonant sounds. In the other class, we're going to talk about consonant sounds and consonant clusters. Today, we're going to place emphasis on monophthongs and diphthongs. Monophthongs are also called pure vowel sounds. Now, when we talk about mono is from the Greek word which means one, and also diphthong from di, which means two. And when we talk about vowels, these are forms or variants of vowel sounds. So that means this is the production of a single vowel sound. We do not glide to another vowel sound. So mono means one. It's the production of a single vowel sound. That's why they are called pure vowels. We do not glide from one sound to another or combine one sound with another. It's just the production of a single vowel sound. Okay. On the other end, when I mentioned diphthong, gotten from the word di, which means two. So this is the combination of 2 vowel sounds to give you a new quality sound. When you glide from one vowel sound to another vowel sound, then you combine it together, then it gives you a new quality sound. So this is what accounts for the more vowel sounds we have, that that's more than 5. So this and triphthongs. But we are not going to look at triphthongs in today's class. We're only going to look at monophthongs and diphthongs. So by the time you combine 2 monophthongs together, it can give you a new quality sound. And that's why we have more sounds than the alphabet. I hope you got that explanation. So we have, like I said, we have 20 vowel sounds. We have 12 monophthongs and 8 diphthongs. So when you sum this up, what you're going to have is 20 vowel sounds. So I have listed here briefly the 12 monophthongs represented by their phonetic symbols, as well as the 8 diphthongs represented by their phonetic symbols. We call these phonetic symbols. I'm going to talk about phonetic symbols in subsequent classes. So remember what I said. Monophthongs are production of a single vowel sound. You do not lie to another sound. That's why they're called pure vowel sounds. Although we have long and short as well. Some of these are long, some of these are short, but all diphthongs are long sound. You need to put that at the back of your mind. All diphthongs are long vowel sounds. While when we talk about monophthongs, some are long, some are short. Those who are long are always represented with this 2 dot here. So whenever you see a sound with this 2 dot, it tells you that it's a long vowel sound. So you need to place emphasis on its pronunciation. So let's begin. Now this is the phonetic symbol for the short A. This is the phonetic symbol for the short A, the AE symbol. Please do not get confused. This is not A. It is the short vowel sound A. Your mouth is just rounded. So you have it most times in words spelled with letter A. Ant, bag, tank. So when you have questions like this and you are asked to identify what sound is underlined, typically letter A sounds A, the short A. Okay, letter E will give you sound E, the short E as an egg. In this word, letter U gives E. So you need to put that at the back of your mind. Berry. Here, AI sounds E. These are some of the tricky words that you may be given in the exam. So typically letter E sounds E, but sometimes AI in this word sound E. So you say said, berry, egg. Now this is, I know most times you all will say this is sound E by saying sit, visit, and bring. But this sound is E according to the British phonetics chart. This sound is pronounced as E. So you pronounce these words as sit, sit down, visit. I'm going to visit my grandfather. Bring. Can you bring me a cup of coffee, please? Okay. So the most important thing is for you to know the phonetic symbols, because you'll be given either the words underlined and asked to pick the phonetic symbol or vice versa. Okay. Now this is the short O. Your mouth is quite rounded. Of course, these are free sounds. Remember what we talked when we explained what vowel sounds are. They're sounds you say by not obstructing the airflow coming all the way from your lungs or up through to your mouth. So you say them freely without blocking the airflow with either your lips, your mouth, or your tongue. Short, not, top. Now this is quite similar to this sound. Most times people mispronounce this sound as O by saying young, country, but you need to realize that it's not O. It is not O. It's very similar to this sound, and it's pronounced this way. Your mouth is flattened whenever you pronounce it, or like this one, whereby your mouth is quite rounded. And open, wide open. Here, this one, you're just slightly opening your mouth and saying the sound. So you get young. Young. The young boy came here yesterday. Country. Country. Nigeria is my country. But. Okay. Now this is the short O sound. The short O. You have it most times in words spelled with OO and OU. Whereas you have this in words spelled with letter U most times. Most times, not all words. That's why you need to be careful, and that's why test of orals can be very tricky. You need to be careful. When we teach you the possible letters you can have some sounds or that can give you some sounds. We tell you you have it in most words or some words, but never all words, because there are always exceptions. So you need to put that at the back of your mind. Should, book, cook. Alright, so we move on. We move on to the long vowel sounds. Remember what I told you. I said whenever you find this two dots behind any sound, first of all, it is a vowel sound, and most importantly, it is a long vowel sound. So this is the short R. You do not place too much emphasis on its pronunciation. While this is the long one, the only way you differentiate is by placing emphasis. Ah, pass. Now listen, whenever you have double consonant with the same letters ending the word, and there is an A before it, most times the A will be a long R. Okay, so you have other words such as pass, class, grass, glass, bars. Okay, now this word is a very tricky word. Most times it always comes out in the exam. That's why I put it here. This word, most times people often mispronounce it as plait. I'm going to plait my hair. Here the AI sounds are. I'm going to plait my hair. That's the right pronunciation of that word. Plait. Card. Now this is used for movement. If I give you a word such as CAT and CART, when I ask you to pronounce them, they are different. They're not the same. CAT is pronounced as cat, an animal, while CART is pronounced as cart. Can you see the difference in the pronunciation? That's why for you to be a very good student in English, especially test of orals, you need to have wonderful and excellent listening skills. Now this is the long vowel sound eh. This is the short equivalent of this sound. This is the short eh, and this is the long vowel sound eh. Here you have different letter combinations that can give you this sound. 5 different letter combinations. You have IR. You have OR whenever there is a W in front of it. Please take note. Originally, OR will sound OR, but whenever you have a W in front of OR, most times the OR will sound A. You have it in words spelled with UR, a lot of words spelled with UR. You have it also words spelled with ER, and in this word spelled with OUR, and as well as EAR. So you pronounce this word as where, not was. Other words, worship, word, work. I'm going to work today. Confirm, girl, bird, sir. Good morning, sir. Okay. Nurse, turn around. Murphy, the name of my dog is Murphy. Journey, journey. Then you also have it in words with ER. Serve, service, servant. So you need to put that at the back of your mind. The most important thing is to be able to identify the sounds in all these letters when you find them in your exams. They will definitely be there in your exams. Okay, now this is the long E. Emphasis on the long sounds. That's the only way you can pronounce them correctly. C. Typically, you have it in words spelled with EE and EA. The others will be alternative spellings. Typically, you have the long E in words spelled with EE and EA in some words. Because sometimes EA can give you A, such as lead, such as bread. So you need to put that at the back of your mind. C. Meat. Then these are alternative spellings. Sometimes E-I can sound E. Ceiling. And this is a tricky sound, tricky E. Words with 2 sounds that ends with the letter E will give you the long E. So that's why you have the E, B, E, me, sh, E, she, w, E, we. So that explains it. Now this is the long O. This is the short O. And this is the long OR. So you have it typically in words spelled with OR, AL, and AW under normal circumstances. So this is OR. You can see that I'm trying to place emphasis on these words because they all have long vowel sounds. You don't say them hastily. Or. Stand in awe of the Most High. Paul, my name is Paul. Lord, the Lord is the Almighty. Okay. This is a sure sound. A lot of people always have issues with this sound in terms of its pronunciation, its identification, and where it occurs. This is a sure sound. It's a superpower. I call it a superpower vowel sound, and I'm going to tell you why I call it a superpower sound. It's a neutral vowel sound that can replace any vowel sound in words. That's why it is a superpower vowel sound. It can replace any vowel sounds in words and make it turn it to a weak form. So you have it typically in words ending with OR, ER, then in a lot of words beginning with the letter A. So we're just going to try to pronounce these words. Now most times people mispronounce this if it ends with OR, ER as A. You say sister. If it ends with OR, most times people say oh, doctor. Then when you have it at the beginning of some words, most times you pronounce that A, go. So now, this is a sure sound that's pronounced as a, doctor, a girl, sister, a, doctor, a girl, about, above, amount, sister. Are we together? Alright, so you can look up more words in the dictionaries and your notebooks. This is all to guide you. Now this is the long vowel sound. Ooh. Ooh. You have it typically in words spelled with letter O. Moon. Clue. Some words with UE. And fruit. Okay. So these are the monophthongs we have. There are 12 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. These are the 12 monophthongs, pure vowels we have in English. So let's go straight away to diphthongs. Like I said earlier on, we have 8 diphthongs in English. Diphthong is when you glide from one vowel sound, from one monophthong to another. So you're combining 2 vowel sounds together to give you, most importantly, a new quality sound. So here, if you look at it, we have 2 sounds. We're combining 2 of all the sounds together to give us a new entirely sound. So this is E. So when you combine A together, it gives you what? A. You glide from A to A. A. Say it again. A. Again. A. Now you have it typically in words spelled with AI. Typically in words with AY and words with A exceeding E. Okay. So most times you all mispronounce this sound as E. E rather. So you say cake. Say my name. Brain. This sound is not A. This is the only thing you are pronouncing if you are saying A. A, cake, say, brain. It is actually, there is an A before the A. A. So you must always say the A before the A. You glide from A to A. That's a diphthong. A. A. Cake. Say. Brain. Okay, let me tell you a poem. I like to bake a cake. I like to ride a bike. So, I like to bake a cake. Can you say it? I like to bake a cake. Not E, it's A. So, here, A and what? E. I. A. I. Typically, you have this in words spelled with IE and IGH. Then Y at the end of words with 2 sounds. Pull that at the back of your mind. Y can give you multiple sounds at the end. It can give you E in words such as penny, Larry, sorry. But whenever you have 2 sounds in a word and the last sound ends with Y, most times it sounds I. Pull that at the back of your mind. I, shy, brr, I, bright, dr, I, dried. Okay. So the poem I was telling you about combines these 2 sounds together. I like to bake a cake. I like to ride a bike. I like to bend rough papers. It goes on. that way. Now this is O, E, O, E. So when you combine O, E together, you glide it together from here to here. It gives you OE, employee. Most times Igbo people say oil, oil. It's a wrong pronunciation rather. Oe, O-E, 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 oe, employee, invoice, toy, deploy, soil, coin, loin. Alright, so I hope we're learning. Now this is The short and the short sound that I call the superpower sound. You have it in some words with A-R-E, A-R, E-A-R, then other combinations as well. So this is share, marry, bear, care, aware, square, aerobics, aeronaut, parents, wary, various, air. You're gliding. I'm not just saying eh. If you listen well, you can hear me pronouncing two sounds together. Air. Listen. Air. I'm not just saying share. No. Air. You're gliding together. Share. Marry. Bear. Care. Aware. Short sound. Aware. Okay. Now this is ear. This is air. They are different, but they sound very similar, especially when you're talking with a fast pace. This is air, and this is ear. Theory. Earring. Stare. Ear. Theory. Earring. Stare. Now this is O. O. L. O. L. Most times people mispronounce this as O by saying so, choke, bolt. This is the only sound people say all the time. O. Whereas there's a short sound before it. O. L. So you go O. It's very difficult to if you don't constantly practice it. So your mouth goes O. L. Cell. Choke. Belt. Guilt. Throat. Float. No. Girl. Zone. Bone. Right. This is the other way around. This is O. And this is O. Sure. Manure. Poor. Sure. Manure. Poor. The poor boy. Now this is ow. That's it. Ow. That's it. Ow. That's the sound you make when a little sharp object pinches your thumb. Ow. Ow. Typically you have the words with O-W, O-U, and O-W and O-U. So you have how. This is an H. H is a tiring sound. It's not a silent sound. Though there are some words where the H is silent, but typically H is a tiring sound. A somewhat weak sound. How. Bound. And now. Don't forget, I said we're beginning with paper 3, test of orals. We have so many topics to consider. Vowels, monophthong, diphthongs, consonant clusters, phonetic symbols, word stress, intonation, etc. So today we have looked at monophthongs and diphthongs. I said Vowels are sounds produced without obstructing the airflow, coming all the way from your lungs up through to your mouth. We have monophthongs, diphthongs, and triphthongs, but today we looked at monophthongs and diphthongs. Monophthongs are production of a single vowel sound. That's why they are called pure vowel sounds. Diphthongs, where you glide from one vowel sound to another, from one monophthongs to another. So it gives you a new quality sound. 12 monophthongs and 8 diphthongs. So what you're going to do is revert back to the WhatsApp page, and what you're going to do is to give me 5 examples under each sound. So these are 20 sounds. You're going to give me 5 other words. You're going to give me 5 other words under each sound. So that is what you're going to do as your class exercise. So I will meet you there on the group page to make an assessment and make corrections when necessary. Bye-bye.